Okay, the next topic is authentication and key agreement in X802.11. So here we will just first part we'll see how authentication happens, and in the second part we'll see key agreement. Okay, so the first part we basically, so in this video we will be just seeing how authentication happens. Okay, so now coming to the authentication process, the protocol that is used for authentication, it mostly operates at the link layer. Okay, now what are the three entities which are involved in the authentication process? Okay, we'll take the three entities, just see what are the three entities. We will have supplicant, authenticator and the authentication server. Okay, supplicant, we can see, we can think of a user who wants to connect to a network. User will use a particular mobile device, and in that a particular software will be installed. That software is going to be used for connecting to the network. Okay, so we'll say basically supplicant is nothing but the station. As we know what is station, it is nothing but your mobile device or any computer which wants to get connected to the network. Okay, so that is a supplicant. Next we have the authenticator. That is nothing but the access point. We have referred already, we know what is an access point. And the third one is authentication server. Okay, now these are the three entities involved in your authentication process. Okay, now let us see the protocol which is used for authentication. Okay, now we have three entities, as I told you. We have the supplicant, we have the authenticator, and we have the authentication server. Okay, now the protocol that is used for authentication between the supplicant and the authenticator is nothing but your EAP, that is Extensible Authentication Protocol. It is always used between the station and the AP, access point. So station is nothing but the supplicant and access point is nothing but the authenticator. Now the next series, that is the protocol that has to be used for authentication between the access point and the authentication server. It depends upon the specification. Okay, and EAP will be just used between the first two entities. The last two, the next two entities will be connected by protocols based on some specifications like higher security, higher reliability, higher speed. So many specifications can be given. So based on the specification, protocol will be chosen. Okay, mostly a protocol known as radius will be used. That is nothing but remote access dialing user service. Okay, this protocol will be used. I have not mentioned it. You can just remember that a radius protocol, mostly it will be used between the authenticator and the authentication server. Okay, now let us see EAP, that is your Extensible Authentication Protocol, how it works. Okay, so basically the method in EAP is what it uses, request response method, means from client to server, a request goes from server to client, a response goes. Similar way we will have the authentication process. Okay, now let us see the different types of EAP. Okay, first one, methods, EAP methods. Okay, EAP MDS. So now when we say, see, first method is EAP MDS. When we say MDS, that is nothing but the message digest. Okay, so now here your particular authentication server will challenge the station to transmit the message digest of the user's password. Message digest will be computed using a hash function. Okay, so what happens is the authentication server will tell the station, in order to authenticate you, you must supply me the hash value of the user's password. So as soon as the station will prompt the user to enter his password, and then will apply the hash function and get the particular value and send it to the authentication server, and thus it authenticates itself. Okay, now what is the problem in this? If a person eavesdrops this message digest, he can find out what sort of function is used, and he can introduce a replay attack. Okay, so that is the first method, and what is its drawback. Now coming to the second method, that is EAP TLS. Now TLS is a protocol. You know what is TLS? That is transport layer security. Okay, it is a extension of your SSL protocol. Okay, so now what happens here is, here there is a requirement that the see, one more drawback which I didn't tell you for MDS is, you have seen the communication and authentication happening between the station and the authentication server, but nowhere access point comes into picture. So there is no way of authenticating the station to access point or access point to the station. Okay, so there is no authentication which involves the access point. So in the second one, we overcome that main drawback. So we have the station has to authenticate itself to access point has to authenticate itself to the station. For that, what we'll do, what is the basic requirement is, all the stations and the access points should have digital certificate. Now, you may remember what is a digital certificate. From a digital certificate, I can extract the public key of a user. Okay, private key will be with the user. Now using this public key, I can encrypt a message and send to the user. User can decrypt it using his private key. That is the general strategy. Now what happens? Your your access point we can agree that all the access point can have digital certificates, but it is not feasible or possible for each and every station to maintain digital certificates. So that is the drawback in EAP TLS. Next, coming to the next one, that is EAP TTLS, that is tunneled TLS. It is an extended version of the previous one. Okay, tunneled TLS means what? Here, what was the drawback in the previous thing? If you remember, I told you both access point as well as your stations needs to have a digital certificates, and if there are n number of stations, it's not possible to have digital certificates for all these stations. So we will go for another method of authentication, in which, yes, the access point do have the digital certificate, but the stations need not have the digital certificate. But then what is the way to authenticate themselves? Okay, how? See, I am telling access point will have digital certificate, so it can prove it can authenticate itself to the station. But how stations will authenticate itself to the access point? It happens through tunneling. Okay, you already know what is the concept of tunneling. That is, the data will be encrypted in the original data will be encrypted in some other form. Okay, and sent to the receiver. That is like no eavesdropping happens. It is just like tunnel word is used. Just like the correct usage of a tunnel means what? If I build a tunnel, people passing through the tunnel will not be visible to others. Okay, the same concept. The message passing through the tunnel will not be visible for an eavesdropper. So what happens? A tunnel will be created between the station and the particular access point, and the user will be asked to pass username and his password or some other credentials through the tunnel, and thus he gets authenticated to the access point. Okay, now coming to the last one, that is EAP PEEP. Okay, what is this EAP PEEP? Okay, so what exactly is this EAP PEEP?